Your ability to control hunger and your genuine passion for training and aesthetics determine how you look. You can have a rat physique in your 30s and beyond, even if conventional wisdom never worked for you. Ever since the mid-2010s, people suggested that they make physique-related content, from trainers to gym buddies and trainers' gym buddies to random childhood acquaintances. I've discussed these methods before, but I think it's time for an update with a complete system in one place. I'm yet to be 37, and this is how I've maintained my physique for almost 15 years with actual ease. Before diving in, I was one of the first to discuss these approaches on YouTube and WordPress back in the mid-2010s. In 2021, I self-published my first book, OMAD Gains, which, though far from perfect, remains the most comprehensive guide on adapting and customizing this exact lifestyle, at least based on personal observations. Let me know if you find anything more extensive. In 2022, I followed with the second one, Discipline or Something Else, which examines the dynamics and intricacies of self-discipline beyond mindless fanboying and overzealousness. These are not the only methods for staying in shape. It just so happens that they are the only ones I've managed to sustain for a decade and a half. Hopefully, this says something about longevity about which a gym buddy asked me. I do not claim to be the most shredded person out there, nor do I believe that simply more shredded automatically translates into a more well-rounded and thus better physique. Rubbing studies in anyone's face is not my thing. With enough funding, studies back and deny everything and anything. In the 60s, smoking was a phenomenal supplement and nootropic, especially for athletes. If I mention research, it likely aligns with mine and the empirical evidence of people like Serge Nubret and Vince Gironda, who massively influenced my lifestyle. Last but not least, I speak as a person obsessed with creativity and routines. The content is suitable for creatives and intellectuals, or pretty much anyone guarding their executive function at all costs. It is a general framework of which each part can be discussed extensively. For the past decade and a half, I've been eating one meal a day, aka OMAD. It is the backbone of my regimen, enabling me to train hard and create even harder with superb mental clarity. It is also the quote-unquote keystone or anchor habit concluding my days. A single meal within 1.5 hours right before bed. No snacks, supplements, or calories during the fast. Just plain coffee, tea, and plenty of spring water. That's all. Now, do I track my calories? No. Do I believe calories matter? Absolutely. While calories are not made equal, they are the single thing separating plain or true fasting from everything else. Say, for instance, bulletproof fasting, putting butter in your coffee, milk in your coffee, lattes, etc. So calories, or more likely their absence, make all the difference. Given that, eating one meal per day depends on 4 things. Self-awareness, stable blood sugar levels, great ability to burn stored energy, and no hunger whatsoever. Now, while the one meal a day plan has numerous health benefits, they weren't my main reason for adopting it. It was because frequent eating destroyed my ability to train, create, and get anything done, let alone be even remotely close to my personal standards of how to look. If you are suspicious that something similar applies to you, reflect on the following questions. Does conventional eating leave you tired and hungry? Does it reduce your determination or likelihood to engage in behavior aligned with your goals, visions, etc.? Does pushing through willpower to keep a diet affect other aspects of your life like creativity, mental performance, social interactions, or simply your overall ability to do the things that you want to do whenever you want to do them? Does it introduce internal negotiation, possibly invoking shame, guilt, or even self-flagellation or self-punishment? If the answer is hard no, then maybe this isn't for you. Keep doing what you do because it clearly works for you. If it's yes, and you already consider a change, listen closely. Outside of the decision to adapt and agree with all aspects of yourself, first, eating one meal a day has nothing to do with willpower. Furthermore, willpower can turn into an enemy or an obstacle, causing self-sabotage, while discipline is your friend. This means patience, giving your body the time it actually requires. In a sense, you put a limitation on how much willpower to exert outside of that initial decision. It may sound contradictory, but it is what it is. For how long? I have no idea, as everyone is different. Some people grew up in poverty or lack. Knowing it or not, they relate food to things much deeper than hitting their taste receptors. Different addictions, different dependencies, and different emotional attachments. This is not a 6 or 12-week program. A custom approach is non-negotiable, at least for most people. Fluctuations in appearance are expected as the body adapts. Two of the people who inspired this video are into coding, investing, AI, and startups. For others like them, every decision you make to eat, not eat, track a calorie, or fit something in your macros can serve other aspects of your life. Proper OMAD adaptation is somewhat like DCA, at least to an extent, making tiny incremental changes for long enough. Consistency over time beats intensity. For me, it took 1 year. The first half was 2 meals in 8-16, the second gradually compressed the feeding window into 4 hours until my body started rejecting food outside of the appropriate time. No willpower, no mindless attempts to fight the lost battle against the body. Just discipline, or at least mostly discipline. This brings us to the actual diet I still mostly follow. In a nutshell, that is a modified version of Gironda's steaks and eggs. So in a sense, Nubre was the person who inspired me to eat OMAD, but Gironda's tactics got me there. Now, unlike the traditional version, I went without any carb refeeds, and I also added butter, sour cream, and later whole butterfat yogurt instead of half and half, which is typical for that kind of a regimen. Based on research and experience, it is far more effective to first achieve high fat adaptation and then test foods building metabolic flexibility rather than pulling in two different directions at the most fragile and risky stages of your adaptation. Think of behavior science notions like choice architecture and lifestyle or identity design. Like those, the OMAD plan requires gradual but complete rewiring. Conversely, patience alone won't cut it. The special thing about such diet is that it accomplishes the other three non-negotiables. It stabilizes blood sugar, enabling the body to start burning ketones, BHB, or beta-hydroxybutyrate. It supplies plenty of high-quality protein to recover while eliminating potential hunger triggers. The high-protein, high-fat content stimulate the release of the two satiety signals PYY and CCK. When injected with these, people and mice simply don't want to eat. Do I still eat like that? No. Around 2016, I introduced safe starches, also known as smart carbs, and started diet cycling, thanks to Ashley Tutor, Paul Jaminet, and Rob Wolf. Currently, I eat beef, whey, sour cream, and butterfat yogurt on most days, while sourdough bread and sweet potatoes with whey on others, thanks to Mark Hyman, Mark Sisson, Aubrey Marcus, and Vince Gironda again. Occasionally, I might have eggs and cheese or white basmati with fish and greens. I never mix carbs and fats, but I always reach absolute fullness and satiety. And if I want to eat more, I eat more. Now, does this follow some special carb cycling? No, but in an ideal scenario, it will follow a peculiar carb cycling, fat cycling, and even salt cycling. I'll also track my water and switch to the best isolate I can afford. Optionally and temporarily, I might incorporate a 48-hour fast every 7 to 10 days. More on that by the end. My training revolves around several approaches or principles: prioritization, pre-exhaustion, time under tension, and frequency and intensity, which Serge Nubret called fast-paced training. Now, an important detail. I really love working out. It is a keystone habit and something I always look forward to. Training 6 days per week, I use maximally light to moderate weight. If I feel I need more, I add more. If I feel I need less, I go with less. Simple as that. Prioritization and pre-fatiguing let me focus on the area or segment of the muscle I feel I need to develop the most based on personal sense of aesthetics and navigating the limitations or genetics of my body as a 6.4 large boned person. Machines, cables or free weights, isolation always leads, enabling me to target different sets of fibers, mostly individually. In an ideal scenario, I cover all, moving from the least to the most developed. In other cases, I do my best with the least developed and proceed with whatever. Either way, I conclude with compound movements to bring everything together. It is an approach I call reversed volume training, for a lack of better term. Circumstances depend on how I feel and the gym situation on a given day. I'm not a power or a weightlifter, nor do I care about CrossFit or functional training. I appreciate those cultures and activities, but I simply don't participate or engage in them. I like old school bodybuilding. With that in mind, sets are up to 6 and not fewer than 4, reps are up to 15 or 20 and pretty much never fewer than 10 or 12. Conversely, just like macros and calories can come from hyperpalatable junk, you can also do junk or vastly unproductive sets and reps. The goal of weights and sets and reps is to foster the best mind-muscle connection and time under tension with the target area. The more that happens, the more blood and thus nutrients, sets and reps drag into the cells, basically sculpting your physique, provided your diet is on point and proper nutrients are actually floating in your bloodstream. The only thing I track is the image in the mirror. In an ideal scenario, I get plenty of flexing in between the sets, which sustains mind-muscle connection and kinda continues to drag nutrients into the cell, although I'm technically resting. That's pretty much it. Can you have a rat physique in your 30s and 40s, even if conventional wisdom and what you mostly see out there as a standard, thanks to algorithms, never worked for you? Absolutely. Keeping a great physique as a creative is about designing a system that automates the journey, preserving your executive function. All you need is committing to a custom lifestyle that produces results while serving all aspects of your life, especially your creativity. Newbre and Gironda were actually pretty creative and had remarkable physiques even in their 70s and 80s. Now, let me finish with a little reflection that might resonate with others approaching their 40s. In her book Consciousness, Annika Harris identifies the self as non-separate from reality. If reality is an ocean, the self is like a wave permanently impacted by it. Whether this is exactly and entirely the case, I believe my journey echoes that concept. In the early 2010s and before, when most people working out were actually in shape and the reality feedback from having a truly head-turning physique was mostly consistent and pretty immediate, I would do everything to keep my best shape. While that didn't involve diuretics, calorie tracking, or heavy lifting, it did keep veins and arteries in my inner thighs. And a Christmas tree year-round. Our standards never develop in isolation. They're shaped by the people around us, the feedback we receive, and increasingly, what algorithms consistently place before us. And that makes an internal standard more important than ever. At 37, my goal is the best sustainable relationship between physique, performance, creativity, and life. And that is precisely what this system gives me. Think of it as the best bang for my buck. Or at least, this is how I like to think of it. Some say bodybuilding is a gateway to personal development and philosophy. Supposedly, that includes becoming more conscious of reality, wherever it is. Yet, if we ever again have something like the early decentralized web, and reality is not mediated or not entirely mediated by algorithms, I might just start doing what gurus call whatever it takes, whatever that means. Until then, whatever.